This is Guru Focus Market Today, your afternoon market brief for Thursday, July 30. Here's where things stand. Amazon reported second quarter net sales up 20% year-over-year and operating income rising 43%, with Amazon Web Services revenue climbing 37%. The company also raised its 2026 capital expenditure forecast to $220 billion, citing higher memory costs. This strong performance comes as Amazon's Zoox subsidiary secured the first U.S. approval to operate paid robo-taxi services without human controls, marking a milestone for autonomous vehicles.
Turning now to Microsoft. Shares surged more than 15%, marking the largest single-day gain in the company's history, after an upbeat Azure forecast and strong quarterly earnings. This rally helped lead a broader rebound in technology stocks, while Meta Platforms fell 8% amid diverging sentiment in the artificial intelligence sector. Apple also exceeded Wall Street expectations for its fiscal third quarter of 2026, driven by robust iPhone demand. The results were delivered during CEO Tim Cook's final earnings call, underscoring a pivotal moment for the company. Staying with the markets, the Nasdaq jumped nearly 3%, snapping a 6-day losing streak as Microsoft and chip stocks fueled a recovery from a recent Federal Reserve-driven sell-off.
On the economy, U.S. gross domestic product growth slowed to a 1.5% annualized rate in the second quarter, while core inflation remained elevated at 3.3% in June. The Federal Reserve's preferred inflation gauge, the Personal Consumption Expenditures Index, showed some cooling last month, though analysts caution that the trend may not persist. Meanwhile, the average 30-year U.S. mortgage rate climbed to 6.66%, the highest level in a year, reflecting persistent inflation and global economic uncertainty.
This next story is about Rivian Automotive, which reported a 27% year-over-year increase in second quarter revenue and improved gross margins. The company also reduced its spending plans and raised full-year guidance as deliveries of its R2 model ramp up. Another story we're watching is the forced liquidation of hedge fund manager Leopold Aschenbrenner's public stock positions following steep losses in artificial intelligence-related investments. Elsewhere, Adidas shares plunged a record 19% after the company missed profit estimates for the quarter, despite raising its annual sales outlook on strong World Cup demand.
In initial public offerings, Jersey Mike's shares dropped 6% on their first day of trading after pricing the IPO at $23 per share. Women's wear retailer Reformation raised $211 million in its U.S. IPO, debuting on the New York Stock Exchange with a market value of $886 million and closing flat on its first trading day. Turning to the streaming sector, NBC Universal's Peacock will be bundled with YouTube Premium starting in 2027, expanding digital entertainment offerings and signaling a new phase in streaming competition. In corporate news, Ferrari achieved its 2026 sales target for the new Luce electric vehicle within 2 months of launch, despite mixed reviews of the model's design. On the cybersecurity front, the recent hack at Hugging Face, attributed to an OpenAI-linked attacker, was more widespread than initially reported, raising concerns over the security of artificial intelligence research.
Finally, notable insider transactions include Airbnb director Joseph Gebbia selling over 2 million shares at $150.92 each for a total of $315.9 million, and Coca-Cola chairman James Quincy selling over 527,000 shares at $90.06 each, totaling $47.5 million. That wraps up today's market update. We'll be back soon with the latest market news. Thanks for listening to the Guru Focus Brief.